Bienvenidos a todos. Welcome everyone. I am the Seamster and welcome to part 5. That's right, FRP. If you have no interest in fiberglass reinforced panel, I would not watch this video because this is exactly what this is about. You may have deep pockets, okay? A lot of us don't have deep pockets and we're running on some type of budget. If that is you, guess what? You found the right place because I'm going to show you guys the beginning steps of how to work with FRP, putting it on the walls, making it in the counter, building your doors, and so on and so forth. Okay, so let's go ahead. Let's talk about the type of liquid you should be using, the glue, the adhesive that you should be using. They sell a gallon can of liquid nails that is made for fiberglass reinforced panel. Okay. That's very expensive. It's $25, $27 a gallon. And you're going to go through that stuff really quick. And you got to use a hand trowel on the back of your FRP. And the bad thing is that that stuff gets all over the place. It drips on the floor, drips on you, gets on a cat, gets on a dog. It gets on everything. What I suggest is that you get yourself liquid nails, heavy duty construction adhesive. That's right, the big caulk bottles. Get yourself the big gun. You get these things for probably 10 bucks on eBay, and this caulk right here, adhesive is going to run around $5 at Home Depot, Lowe's, Menards, any big box store, and you're going to run through these things. But listen, they work, okay? The adhesive really does work. Okay, so what I did first, before I even did anything, I want to show you guys, is that I put some of this on this OSB, okay? So I got this FRP. You can see it's on the back side right there. And listen, I'm going to tear my nail off just by trying to get that off of the back side of the FRP. That's 2 days of drying. And it's really, really on there. And I'm really pulling on this right now, okay? I'm really bending. You can see it's bent. I'm bending that, okay? I'm bending it. It just adheres to everything. Okay, when it comes to the tools, I'm going to be using my table saw and my hand grinder, the one I've been using throughout the video, a little 4-inch metal cutting disc and also a 6-inch metal cutting disc that will mount, a 5/8 mount on your table saw. I'm going to show you how to do that. I'm not using a teleprompter, guys, okay? So a lot of information is coming right here. So sometimes I'll miss things and I'll come back to it, but there's a lot of important information on this video. This is the longest video that I made to this day so far, and as like I say, I've done away with music when I'm going fast mode because I got information, important information that I'm saying while I'm in fast mode, okay? So just so you know that. Again, part 6, guys. What am I covering in part 6? I'm going to be covering how to hook up your sinks, your basins, the drain lines, the hot water heater, your water pump to your fresh water, and also to your gray tank. Also, I'm going to be covering the hood vent that goes above maybe a small deep fryer or a small skillet. You need to check with your department what type of hood vent that you actually have to use. Don't just go by what other people are telling you, that you have to have an ANSOL system. Sometimes an ABC fire extinguisher along with the K fire extinguisher is good enough for kitchen appliances and grease and so on and so forth. Okay, and appliances. I'll be talking about appliances. The slushing machine. I know I was going to say I was going to cover this one. I'm going to cover it in the next one, part 6, guys, for sure. Do you need a slushing machine? Do you need a fountain machine? Do you need a hot dog machine? I don't know. Maybe you do, maybe you don't. Also, the window covers. I know I was supposed to cover that, but I'm working on it. I already have it. You know, I'm already doing it. I just got to put it together. I just don't have a time on this video. Okay, now you guys already know that we've already had a food trailer before and we made a lot of money with that. This is a great retirement, or it's just great for your income. Either way, you're young, you're old, I don't care. This is a money maker. But if you are not making a minimum, listen to me, a minimum of $300 to $500 per event per day, you are doing something wrong. You need to change what you're doing. I'm being honest with you right now. If you are not making that, change something up. The people don't want what you are serving, okay? You should be making $500 to $1,000 within a 10-hour span at an event. If you're at a carnival, that's what you better be making. You better be making $500 to $1,000 a day, because that's exactly what we were making. And I'm not fabricating that. I'm not making it up. That's the truth, everybody, and that's what I'm going to give you, the truth. I appreciate the comments, appreciate the likes. I appreciate you guys telling me that this is the best videos that are out there on building a food truck and a food trailer. Yes, for those people that say I should only work with stainless steel, you shouldn't work with wood, you shouldn't do this because it'll get mold, it'll get water on it, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, okay, that's Mr. Deep Pockets right there, okay? If you got deep pockets, good for you, okay? A lot of us don't. A lot of us got to go with what we can, and this is it right here, guys. $25 a sheet for a 4x8 sheet of FRP. Now I'm going to show you all this. Let's get going. Let's do this, everybody. Come on. When you're marking this, make sure you double check, because after you cut this stuff, it's done. It's over with, okay? Unless you use a smaller piece on something else. So just double check everything and make sure that everything is on line. And the first thing you need to do is you need to make sure that your plywood that you're working with is flat. You don't want any splinters to be up, burrs, screws, or anything like that that's going to protrude outward and push this FRP board out. So take a hammer or sand it down. Either way, rub your hand across it, make sure you don't get any splinters, and make sure that is flat. Get yourself a charcoal filled mask. This stuff will build up in your lungs. It does not dissipate. It will not go away. This will kill you in the future. Okay? So be sure, safety first. Make sure you have a mask whenever you're doing any type of cutting of this FRP board. It's fiberglass, guys. Come on, don't mess around with this stuff. Alright everybody, so what I'm doing is I'm wrapping the corner. So we got our FRP board, this little 4.5 inch piece to fit here, and all we're doing is putting this liquid nails down on the back side all the way down, and then we put that on the top, and then we put these corner pieces on. Now the corner piece goes over the top, and then when you're on this side of it, take your hand stapler, and you have to staple this side of the lip, okay? So just staple it, staple it, staple it, staple it, about every 10 inches all the way down. So what's gonna happen now is that when we go to put up this new FRP board, all it's simply going to do is just fit inside this lip. And then you'll just press it down to your liquid nails. Okay, all the way down, and then we'll come to a corner, and then all we're gonna do is just go this way with it. So I'm gonna show you right now. This is it right here, liquid nails. I got the heavy duty big gun right here. And all I'm doing is I'm starting at the top about an inch below. Okay, and then stay about an inch away. And I just do a little section at a time, okay? So an inch from the corner, all the way up, and then just kind of just go around. You don't have to get out of control with this stuff right here, okay? It will stick. It will bind. It will bind to you. If you get it on your fingers, it will stay on your fingers. So make sure you wear some gloves. I'm not wearing gloves, but that's just how I do this thing sometimes. Oh, we got our FRP board. It's all cut out. So now what we're going to do is just place that right up against there, okay? You're going to have to slide this into the bottom corner and then work this way all the way. Make sure that fits inside that lip, just like that, okay? No problem. Look at there. Just slid right in there. And all I'm going to do, make sure my speaker wire is out of the way. And all I'm going to do is just press this up against here. Look at there. Just work this way down just for now, and then you go back and you're going to press this in. So we can slide this, okay? So it's going to work like a little sliding action. So I can push this up to my ceiling, and that's what I want to do. I want to be as nice and tight as I can, and then I'll just put simply a bead of silicone, white silicone across the top here, bead. All right, I'm not really worried about my corners here because I'm putting a cabinet up right here, so you're not going to see this. And then I'm going to run a bead of silicone right in the area, in this small area right here, because the freezer chest is going to go right here in this spot. So you're not going to see this corner. It's going to be well hidden. So as long as you know where everything is going, you can hide things, okay? All right, so all I'm doing again, just pressing this, making sure that that is inside of this area right here. And then once you feel that that's pretty much what you want, let go. Just like that, everybody. So what I'm going to do is we're going to go ahead, we're going to put this piece on now. So I'm going to show you afterwards, after we get this piece on. Once you get your board and they're all cut, you got to make sure that you wipe it off on the side that you're going to be putting the adhesive on. Okay, you don't want any of that dust on there because then it's not going to stick. So all I'm doing is just wiping that off and just making sure I double check this. So I'm just going to put this up there and see if this fits where I want it to. Because I'm going to put up this piece right here to go right in here like so, okay? And that's where this adjoining trim piece is going to go. But the first thing you need to do is when you're going around a corner like this where the windows are, get yourself a small piece of corner trim, so you keep it in your pocket. That way you can know where this is going to butt against it, like so, and then move it over on the other side and make sure that this piece is going to work perfect. But now we need to make sure that this does not move, this piece right here, okay? That's what I was talking about with your hand stapler. You're going to staple that there in place, just like so. Look at that, it's magic, okay? And then we're going to double check our piece that fits in here, just like so. Look at it, look at it, look at it. Remember, trim piece, this trim piece is gonna go on all the way down, this right there. So we're at the end of the truck, and this is where our FRP board is going to end. So what's gonna end up happening is that, I'll take this for a second, is that you're gonna be using this ending trim piece, okay, where it just slides into it. And all I did is I cut that. Make sure you have a piece down here, just so you know the height of it, and set that on there. And just put that right where you want your FRP board to end. Okay, so that's what it's gonna slide into right there. And once you have that in place, and you know this FRP board is going underneath here like so, you can go ahead and just simply start stapling this in place. You can try to make an exact cut and then bring it in here, but I tell you right now, most of the time, that exact cut that you measured isn't going to work. You're going to be off somewhere. You're going to have more space over here than you are going to be over here. So it's best to just have just a big piece, bring it in, put it where it needs to be on the edges of this countertop here. Take your level or something straight, push it in there, and then mark your lines on each side. Done. Then go ahead and make your cut and bring it in. So the FRP is going to adhere to the heavy duty construction adhesive. You can put some weights on there. You can put anything that's heavy, that's gonna use some boards, something that's flat, that can push down on that, the FRP that's on top of your counter. So this is the day after. That's holding really, really well. So here we are at a corner. And what's gonna end up happening is that you can either cut these both on an angle and then they'll both kind of like join into each other, which I wouldn't suggest. Or you can simply take one and you can see hollow out one side and keep the top side flat. Okay, keep the top side flat. And then this would simply just go on there like so. And then your next corner piece would just butt right up against it, just like that, and making it nice and flush. And that's what I do, okay? When it comes to a corner on the outside, I showed you one way on an inside corner, but on an outside corner you are going to have to cut that on a 45, all right? And then your next piece is going to have to join up on that one there like so. So make sure that you leave yourself enough. And then what you're going to do afterwards, when this is all said and done, is you're going to take a little bit of white caulk and you're going to put it right into that seam there, okay? So it fills that all in nicely. This is what an outside corner is going to look like, and then we're just going to put a little bit of white caulk to fill that in there, and also here and underneath right there. You can see that we'll just put some silicone white caulk in there. Now when it comes to this part here on this outer edge, okay, so we got this, and this goes over this like so. So this is going to go over it like that. Okay, so what ends up happening is that you have to take a practice piece, and I'm telling you, practice. Okay, I cut that off like so, so just look at that. And what's going to end up happening is that this is going to go under this one here, this is going to go under and slide up, and that part is going to go over, and it's going to run right up there like that. Okay, and then it'll just, like I say, that white silicone, we'll just put that right in there. Okay, so it just fills that little crack in that little crease. Again, remember everybody, duct tape, make sure you have some pieces that are just set aside, because you're going to need that to hold certain pieces like that are gravity held, because you want that to stay in place, or you want these side pieces here to stay also in place. So you're just going to put some duct tape on them. So I'm just going to show you that right now. And what I did is I made it to be about a 1/2 inch more. Okay, so you can see there's a 1/2 inch here, and what will end up happening is that the outer doors will operate on a slide system here, and there'll be two split doors, and they'll just slide back and forth to each side. If you are building a food truck or a food trailer, then obviously this is a goal. This is something that you really want to do. You can do this. Don't let things stop you from building your food truck or food trailer. Come up with a design, come up with a plan. You already got it in you to want to do this, or you wouldn't be watching this video right now. Everything that I'm doing you can do. It's just a matter of just having the right tools. If you are serious, if you really want this to be your goal, there should be no reason that somebody stops you from doing it. Get that job, work that overtime, and start being serious about it. But get out there, go for your dream, go for your goal, and do it. The table saw, the disc comes in either a 6-inch or an 8-inch. Right now I have a 6-inch disc that's on there. You don't have to, but I'm suggesting that you do this. Okay, so that means do it. And all you're going to do is you're going to pry these against one side of the wall here, other to here. Okay, and that's where them seams are coming together. Where I put this tape right here, and so there's glue that's underneath there. And so all we want to do is take this and then put this piece of wood right there, 2x4 or something, and just push down on the other side of the wall, and then just let that press against there like that. It's the next day, it's morning, so let's go ahead and take these boards off, and let's see what's going on around here. Thing is that when you guys use duct tape on here like I do, there could be some residue that's left over from the tape, like right there. No big deal, we'll just clean that up later with some mineral spirits or something. But yeah, that's great. That is really, really good. Wow, look at it. You can't even see the seams in there. Look at that. Wow, that looks really, really good. Smooth as can be, no flex, no nothing. And I put it real thin, guys, that heavy duty construction adhesive in there. Okay, I didn't just mash it on there. I put it real thin, flattened it out, and then I pressed that on there, okay? Because you don't want that heavy duty adhesive to squeeze through the crack. You just want to push that on there, and like I said, wow, it worked. Okay, great. Let's move on, guys. I just need to do around this window. So, we're at a corner, on a window, on the outside, inside, either way. But you take your trim, and it goes here on this corner, and it butts up to trim right here. And then you're going to have another piece of trim that goes right there that butts up to that. And then you can take some caulk or silicone white and then put it right on there if you want. But you don't have to. The important thing that you need to know is that you need a utility knife with sharp blades. So get a utility knife with a 10-pack of blades, because they're going to go dull really quick when it comes to cutting this plastic trim. And as you can see, I made some really, really fine cuts right there. Okay, so you're going to have to do that, okay, to go around this, to let it fit, and it matches up. And you'll understand once you start doing this that you have to do that. If you want me to subscribe to you, you want me to thumbs up, you want me to like your channel, I will do that for you. I believe in you scratch my back, I'll scratch yours. Okay, so if you want that, just let me know, send me a comment, and I'll do that. Also, if you haven't already subscribed, thumbs up, or commented, go ahead and do that, guys. I do appreciate that. Muy bien. Gracias, mi amigas, mi amigos. I do appreciate it. Let's keep going. So in order to get this top piece to stay in place, you can see it's just kind of hanging there. So I just put these in just to rough it in, a rough draft. And so now that they're all in place, I need to still put that heavy-duty construction adhesive on. But this has got to stay up there, guys. So what we're going to have to do is you're going to have to cut out 2 little scrap pieces of wood here, okay? The same stuff maybe you were using to brace up these sides here. And just simply just put that underneath there and, you know, just kind of wedge that up there so it's nice and tight. Go find that food truck. $2,500 is what you should be finding a food truck for, okay? Take it for a drive. Make sure there's no leaks. Make sure there's no odd sounds. If it needs tires, oh well, that's good. If it needs brakes, oh well, that's minor compared to the actual truck. You can get the tires off eBay. Go to a tire shop. They'll put the tires on for you. If you need brakes, learn how to do the brakes. If not, get a hold of a friend. Maybe they'll help you. The brakes are not that difficult. But get out there, go for your dream, go for your goal, and do it. I know you can do it. I've seen people that have been at the bottom of the barrel and came back to the surface. Flip it. There you go.
You were prepared for a scenario. This is it.
Now, when it comes to this corner right here, I'm not going to put any trim in the corner, and the reason why is because this is where the deep fryer is going, okay? And I'm going to be having some type of stainless steel on this part, this upper part here, and then the hood vent is going to be going right here. As you can see, it's all braced up. All I gotta wait now is just for this to dry tomorrow, and I can go ahead and keep on going here with the countertops, and I'm gonna be putting the sinks in, so that's gonna be a real good bonus to actually see. Almost forgot to mention, when you're on your back part of the door here, make sure that you put your trim on, okay, before that adhesive starts drying up. Alright, it's the next day, and let's go ahead and take these boards down. As we know, we had to put these boards on here to get some type of leverage so that it wouldn't peel away and it would adhere. You got to make sure that your countertop is nice and clean before you go ahead and put that FRP board down, but I think you already know that. So our piece fits in there really nice. Okay, you got a little bit of space here and over there. But remember, we got our FRP that's going to be coming down this side trim here inside this window. And we're going to have that silicone white bead that runs along here. Okay, so everything looks really good. You got your piece where it's at and it's overextended here. This is what's good about this part, is that all you need to do is just trace right against this top, against this FRP, and just draw your line to take it outside and cut it. Now I need to cut out the countertop where the wood is, where the basins, the sink basins are going to go. So I need to do that next before I put the adhesive down on this right here. Okay, I got my 4-foot level there, and I just made marks on the back side here, 1/4 of an inch inside the lip there of each one of these. So I just followed this right down. So I made a mark there, made a mark there, made a mark down there, made a mark down there, made a mark down there, and then I'll make one for this one right here. Just like that, everybody, got these all cut out. As you can see, they're a little bit big, but that's okay. Once that FRP board goes down, that's where you're gonna make your perfect cut. Okay, so this could be just a little bit bigger, but not to the point where, you know, obviously this thing is, you push it to one side and then the sink basin is gonna fall through the hole. Yeah, just like that, guys. So, good to go. When applying this adhesive and you're putting them in between where the sink basins go, don't put so much on it where it's just going to squeeze all the way through and then go right onto the floor. You can see I'm pressing this FRP board down and it fits just nice and snug in there. Now it's time for the rocks. If you do plan on putting something, rocks or wood or weights on top of your FRP to press that down, make sure you don't put it over where you cut your plywood out for your sink basins. It'll just warp that FRP board. Got the rocks all laid out, everybody, and now you know why I use them. So it's the next day, and I'm going to go ahead and get rid of these rocks. Don't need them anymore. And I'm going to get the front face put on and these legs running down here and get these cut out here for where the sink basins are going to be put in. All right, let's do that. So you can see me stapling on this trim, and now I'm cutting this first one out. When you cut the first one out, you want to take your time and make simple cuts, and then if you have to cut it some more, you just simply cut it a little bit more to make it perfect so it fits in snug. You just want just a little bit of movement, and that's about it. So take your time and make your cuts a little bit at a time. And then once you have this one, well, it's easy now. You can either use a pattern or get a piece of cardboard, and that's what I'm going to do, and then make that exact to this right here, so you can just move on to the next one and set that one down, then trace it out and then cut it. And I definitely would suggest using a piece of cardboard, everybody, because it's right on the money for the first one. You just keep on working it to the next one, to the next one. And then right after that, just make your cuts and just follow your traced out lines, and everything just works out perfectly. Cut yourself out a pattern made out of cardboard. Make sure you get that first one just right, because once this FRP board is down, it's down, guys. And once you make a mistake and you cut this stuff, you're gonna have to live with that mistake. So might as well take your time and do it right when it comes to cutting the FRP, when it comes to this sink basin. Cardboard, it's cheap, doesn't take much. Let's move on. And very important, you gotta have a dry cabinet. Okay, that's where all your dry goods are going to be, because you can't have anything sitting too low on, near to the ground. Hot dog buns and so forth, they have to be stored like in a dry cabinet or somewhere up high where it's away from, you know, dust and debris and dirt and all that good kind of stuff. So this is where I'm installing 2 dry cabinets on top of each other, and then the freezer is going to go underneath here. So I just wanted to put them in here because they were sitting in the garage, so I just want to get them out of the way. It would help if you had 2 people, but my son's at work like usual. So, I'll do it myself. No big deal. Put a screw in here and it'll bolt in, it'll fasten into this wall right here, and it'll just push it that way. And then I'll have some that are going to tighten these 2 together like this, so it'll just squash that together, and then the rest are getting fastened to the wall. So this track you can purchase at Home Depot, Lowe's, or Menards. And it's aluminum, okay, so it's not going to rust. Okay, so you're going to need some stainless screws that are going to fasten here, and I'm going to show you this. But what essentially is going to happen is that you're going to take the 2 pieces of FRP, and they're going to go inside of this, looks like about maybe 3/8 of an inch of this track, and they'll set inside. They're just a little bit loose. I wish it was a little bit tighter, but it's okay. And I'll have a track that's going to be on the top, and these 2 will just slide. Just like this. It's cheap, it's inexpensive, and it's easy, and it's light, and the doors just slide. If you need to take them out, then you simply just bend them out, and they just come right out of the track, and then you can clean the track if you get any food inside there. It just so happens that this 8-foot aluminum channel is running the full length that I need, and it runs over maybe about 1 inch on each side, so that's just perfect. As you can see, I'm just going to cut this door out here, this FRP board, and I'm probably going to let it run over maybe about a good 1.5 inches, so it's a little higher, and then it'll run inside of this track that I will have fastened up there. So I got all the door panels cut out. Okay, this is going to work, but if this was any bigger, you know, these would probably just, you know, flimsy right on out, okay? But they do hold their form. They're going to be in that track, the upper and lower track. Okay, so I have some 1/2 inch stainless steel screws, okay, and I'm just going to drill my hole, and then I'm going to just set these in on the edge and just kind of work my way down to where these center supports are. Now the rail is pretty strong and straight, so I'm just going to rest it tight against the FRP. Okay, so far so good. That's looking good, and I'm just going to work my way down and finish this up, and I'm going to show you guys the upper one because that's going to take a little bit more tact. In order to get my top track to go where I want it to, I have to put the doors in the track and then set this track on top of it, and then just raise it up just a little bit so you get that place so the door can slide, hopefully easily. So let's go ahead. I'm going to put these in the track. First, I mark where I need to drill, and then I take a drill bit that's larger than the screw head that I'm using. Now I'll drill it out, and then wait, and I'll take another drill bit, and I'll use that to drill on the other side of the track. Now the screw head will fit through the larger hole and go through the smaller one. Now fasten it to the FRP. Done. Look at there, it's nice and tight, that rail, that top rail right there. And so this one right here, you know, it's not going to be able to slide, but this is where my water pump is going to be, the battery that runs that little pump, and so on and so forth. But I'm going to show that in a later video, in the next video probably. So that one right there, I'm okay with that one if it doesn't slide. That, like I say, look at there, it just pops right out, guys. And then you just bend it and put it right back in. You can see I just punch a hole right through there. And all I do is just take my finger now and slide it. And then bring it back. And then once it hits this inner edge right here, well, I know where I want to be, okay? So far, this is looking really good. I like it. And here's the hole right here, so I'm just gonna grab it. And I'm just gonna slide. If I need to lift up on a door, well, I just lift up on it. It's really light. Look at that, it's perfect. It's 80 degrees outside. I'm taking a break. I'm going to the beach. But before I go, I wanna do one thing and let something dry because I need to find out what is going to adhere to this FRP. Is it going to be pure 100% silicone or is it going to be latex caulk? So I'm going to do that right now, show you guys. I'm going to put it down in 2 strips and then we're going to let that dry the next day and then we're going to come back and we're going to see which one actually adheres best to this FRP. Now to make sure that this actually does adhere, I'm just going to rub this in. So we'll give that a day and we'll just let that dry and we'll check it out tomorrow. This is a latex and this is the silicone here. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to try to peel it up. So it did grab pretty good and yeah, it's still, I'm going to try to roll it up with my thumb. And it's not rolling up, guys. That's adhering pretty good. Let's go ahead, let's try the latex and get my nail underneath there and look at that. It's just peeling. It's just rolling up. Look at that. We do not want to use latex on the FRP. I'm just getting ready to put the silicone down and all you have to do is take your utility knife and cut that on an angle. And on your gun here, there's a little poker. Okay, so you just go ahead and stick that in there because there'll be a seal that's inside there and just go ahead and poke the hole in that. Make sure you have yourself some paper towel on hand and go ahead and load the gun, caulk gun, push that all the way in and it's ready to go. You just need to squeeze this handle just like I did with the FRP. Make sure that you wipe down all of the areas where the silicone is going to be going and once you're ready to do that, then just find a spot and just begin. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just start right here and I'm just going to work my way this way. And you want to, don't put on a lot, okay? Just enough, just that it's on there because you're going to be rubbing your thumb on there to smooth that out afterwards. I'm going to show you that. So all we want to do is just start it. Just like that. Now I'm in the corner here and I'm just going to go across. And like I say, I'm not going to put a lot on here because I don't want to get out of control. And then I'm just going to use my thumb to smooth this out. Okay, so just enough. And a lot goes a long way. Remember, I said that before with the outside windows. Just going to take your thumb and you are just going to slowly just push down on that. But not too hard, okay, because you don't want to get out of control with this stuff. Okay, and then when you get to a corner, you're gonna have to wipe your thumb off constantly. That's why I say you want to make sure that you have some paper towel on hand. Just go ahead and press down slightly. And the reason why you're doing this is that one, for looks, okay, but two, if you were to spill anything, liquids and so forth, you don't want that to go inside the cracks there where the FRP is, okay, underneath where the wood is. So it just kind of just seals that in. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go ahead and finish this up here, but you get the general idea of what I'm doing. So I'm just going to finish up the rest of the truck now. This silicone job right here took exactly 1.5 bottles. And that dried up really, really nice and smooth. Putting up the overhead shelving unit, it's a wire rack, as you can see. And I want you guys to understand that these brackets here normally would go downward, okay? They would go down into the wall. But I'm showing you guys this because this is very important that these go this way up towards the ceiling. That way they're out of the way here. If you're going against a wall, like if I was gonna go right here, it takes away from your working area. Okay, all I did was just cut that and I used my little hand grinder, okay, with that metal 4-inch cutting disc. You can see there and then I rounded that edge off, and then I made that notch there. Okay, and then I'm just going to take some white paint and I'm just going to clean that up. Okay, so if you can, go ahead and sand this down so you get the little metal burrs off. And then as you can see, that just slides right in here. You just have to go up and then turn and then get that to lock in. And that will lock in. I just got to push up a little bit more. And I'm going to take a self tapper and just screw that up there like that. As you can see, I use a lot of extensions on my cordless here. Channel that's up there, and it's really sturdy. I'm pulling down pretty hard on this, so it's gonna work, guys. Just saying. Keeps that bracket out of the way here. And bam! Just like that, everybody. FRP 101. I hope you guys got something out of this. Remember, the basic tools that you're going to need is going to be the hand grinder and the table saw with the metal cutting disc on both of those. As far as the sink basins, I'm going to be covering that next. I hope you guys got something out of the FRP doors and the aluminum 3/8 track that you'll use, and also the wire rack that's going to be placed up here. I know this was a long video, guys, but this I feel that this was very important when it comes to the FRP, that I explained this thing in fully and in depth. Okay, it's just a matter of being able to take your time and remember, use that heavy duty adhesive. It really does bond. It really does work when it comes to the FRP. Will most people suggest it? No, but I do, because I used it. I used it in the past. I use it on commercial buildings when I install FRP in bathrooms and so on and so forth. Not what I do for a living. It's just something that I do for extra income. And also remember this, guys, is that if I'm telling you something, I'm telling you this, or I'm teaching you something to either save you money or to make you a lot of money. Because remember, you are not competition for me or my son when it comes to food trucks or food trailers. I want every one of you guys to succeed. I want you all to pursue your goals, and I want you to accomplish them. And I want to be able to help you guys reach that so that you get to the top, to where you want to be. Alright, now I know, part 6 is coming, guys. Remember, the exterior of the window covers, I know that I'm already working on it. You've seen the little video. Okay, I'm also going to show you how to install the sink basins when it comes to the drains, to the freshwater tank, to the gray water tank. And also when it comes to the appliances, I'm going to tell you guys what appliances we're actually going to use and where you may find these appliances to be able to go a lot farther with your dollar. Remember, we're doing this to save money, and we're doing it to make money. With that, everybody, remember, the only excuse you can make is the one that you actually say. Peace out, everybody. Yeah, cue the music. After a hard day's work, you got to eat some chili.